everybody, it's Jennifer, and today I wanted to film my second installment in Pregnancy Problems, which is a fun series here on my channel where we talk about common problems that pregnant people go through. Pretty self-explanatory, but still gonna throw it in there. If you enjoy this video while you are watching, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a big thumbs up down below. I'm doing a giveaway at 100 subscribers, and you could help me reach my goal by subscribing. Just saying. This week in Pregnancy Problems, we're going to be covering working while you're pregnant. Specifically, because this is what I did, I can help out more with things that I relate to more. I have a very active job. I am a CNA, which means I'm on my feet all day. I'm picking up people, I'm lifting, I'm pulling, it's a whole thing. It's a very physical job. So, I can really only attest to people that also have a very strenuous and physical job. Common sense would help you, like if you sit at a desk all day, to make sure you elevate your feet on occasion and take breaks and make sure you get up and walk so you don't get cramps and stuff. But you know, this is more for people that are more strenuous at work while they're pregnant. So I just have a few little tips, and some of it is common sense, some of it's stuff you might not think of. So, you know, do what you want with it. My first tip is to have a belly band. Now my midwife gave me a belly band like on my insurance. Like I didn't have to pay for it, my insurance did. You can get all sorts of different types. If you don't like the one your insurance pays for, you can order them on Amazon. You can find belly bands everywhere. You can search pregnancy belly band, pregnancy support band, whatever you want to call it. And all that does basically is the one I had, it would wrap around my lower back and come underneath my bump, and all it did would kind of, it would support my bump to where it didn't feel like my stomach was hanging constantly, and it didn't feel like I was being pulled down as much by my bump. It kind of really helped to make me feel better, and it also helps with back pain. So definitely get you a belly band. Number two is to make sure you have good shoes. If I'm really bad about it, especially now that I have a baby, I don't like spending tons of money on myself, especially not for clothes and shoes and things. I'm much more of a buy some makeup and some hair product over buying some clothes and shoes. I always have been, but now it's worse because I have a baby and I want to buy her everything and me nothing. So I'm really bad about buying Walmart shoes that are like $10, and yeah, they're comfortable when you're wearing them for short periods of time and not walking a lot. But when I'm at work, I work 8 to 12 hours. Every time I work, I walk between 2 and 6 miles a day while I'm at work alone, just at work. So if you're trying to run around in shoes that don't have good support or aren't made to be walked in like that, then your feet are gonna hurt, and that is gonna cause swelling, and swelling is not good when you're pregnant. It is extremely painful. You want to avoid it at all costs. I normally recommend running shoes for new CNAs or obviously pregnant people that are working with me. I normally wear Saucony's, I think is how you say the name, or Nikes. I don't like Adidas. They don't support as well as I need them to, but I've also broken both my ankles, so take that into consideration. I look for way more support up top than I do on bottom, but when you are pregnant, you want it all. You want something that's going to support your ankle, you want something that's going to support the arch of your foot. It's really, really going to help you, I promise. And I also recommend getting some that are slip-on with like no laces. That's what my Saucony's are, and it helps a ton, I promise. Next is you want to make sure you take plenty of breaks and rest. Now, I understand that, especially at a job like mine, you don't always have time to sit down and take a break. You don't always have time to rest and breathe. But when you are pregnant, you have to think what's more important, your baby's health and your health, or your boss getting mad. That is what I ended up having to do at my job, and it worked out fine for me. I just had to tell them, you know, I'm getting further along in my pregnancy and I can't go 4 or 5 hours without sitting down. I can't go 4 or 5 hours without taking a minute and getting a drink and breathing. I have to, or I'm going to pass out and throw up on everybody. So after that, they kind of got the gist, and I wasn't allowed any extra breaks, but they did allow me to sit down for a minute and breathe and get a drink it's important. You always want to hydrate and take plenty of breaks no matter what you're doing. If you have to do something strenuous with a lot of physical activity, such as going to work and being a CNA, you want to make sure you're at least taking a break in between everything you're doing and take a drink of water. If you get dehydrated, it's gross. The more water you drink, the more amniotic fluid you have, the more drink your baby has, and it's all just a good big circle. Hydrate and take plenty of breaks. The next thing is to make sure you know your limits. And I was really bad about this at first. I had been told for 8 years I could not have kids. I have never held another baby. Like, I hadn't held a baby up until I had my baby. And like, I just wouldn't accept that I couldn't do everything I could do when I wasn't pregnant. Yes, it's important to stay active. You're not supposed to go completely slob and not do anything. But I was at work trying to pick up 200-pound people. Now, when you're pregnant, you cannot do that. That is a lot of strain on your back. You could pull muscles easier because your muscles, all of them relax when you are pregnant and kind of stretch out more so that your body can, you know, make way for this human coming in. And I just refused to accept that. And I was trying to pick up super heavy things, heavy people. I was trying to move equipment, and you just cannot do that when you're pregnant. It is really, really dangerous. And if you have to, my mom always went to my doctor's appointments with me. You're gonna have to say something to your doctor. Most places of employment will understand that you are pregnant and you can't do everything like you used to and kind of work with you. And I'm sure my job would have too, with like the lifting and things, but my mom ended up saying something at one of my appointments, and my midwife put me on lift restrictions. Lift restrictions, if you have to work under restrictions, that does not mean you are going to be fired. That does not mean you can't keep your job. There are laws to protect you from that. It does mean that instead of me picking up a 200-pound person, my partner would pick up the person and I would assist. I think mine was either 15 or 20 pounds. I had a pretty low weight limit due to me being high risk, but it wasn't that serious, and they moved me to the easier side of the building on a simpler assignment where I did not have to lift as much. So, know your limits, and if you need to, talk to your doctor and you can get a written restriction if your job is being a little prickly about it. Big main thing that you should always pay attention to when you are working and you're pregnant is to speak up. If you do not feel good at work one day and you, not like, oh, I didn't get enough sleep, I'm a little tired or something like that, but if you don't feel good and you don't feel comfortable, you need to speak up. You need to tell somebody that is above you, talk to your boss or your supervisor, and you need to let them know that you don't feel good, you might need to go home, you need a break for a minute to see if it passes. If you keep going when you don't feel comfortable and you don't feel good, you could end up hurting yourself and your baby pretty bad. So speak up, and that goes for work and doctor's appointment. I'm a very shy person, I guess is how you would say it. I have anxiety, so when I go to the doctor, I end up rambling, and not about medical things that they need to know. I end up rambling about everything under the sun constantly, and it's terrible. And my mom goes with me to kind of direct me back where I need to be and remind me that I need to talk to the doctor about something. You've got to speak up. If you have any concerns, you need to talk to somebody. I'm not saying ask like homegirl down the street, you know, about everything. You can talk to other people that have been pregnant, obviously. That's what I'm doing for you. But if you're really truly concerned about it, ask your doctor. It is not that big of a deal. They deal with a million questions a day, and I'm sure you're not the first one to ask. Just ask the question so you can put your mind at ease. The other thing is you need to set up a plan for when you are going to take your maternity leave. Once again, I was considered high risk. I ended up being induced, and I was induced on December 21st, and my last day of work was December 19th. So you want to make sure you line up your maternity leave. Where I work, you don't get that much paid maternity leave, and I was not applicable for it at all because I had not worked there a year. But some places allow you like 6 months maternity leave, but most places do 6 to 12 week maternity leave, and that's kind of average. I believe if I had taken paid maternity leave, mine would have been 12 weeks, which is 3 months, which is pretty average. And you have to think about when you're going to take your leave. At the end of pregnancy, you are dead tired. You are exhausted. It is exhausting to get out of bed and walk across the house. I promise, I've been there. But you need to take into consideration that if you take maternity leave early and you stop working, that is less money for when your baby gets here, and that is less time with your baby when they get here. I was fortunate enough that I got to go on maternity leave however long I wanted. I didn't have to go back to work. I didn't go back to work full time. I'm just PRN. But you want to, I don't know how to explain it without being crappy. If you get 3 months maternity leave per se, and you're due, to make it easy math, if you're due February 1st, and you get 3 months maternity leave, which would mean February, March, and April, and you go back May 1st, right? Yes, okay. If you end up taking if you're due February 1st and you take your maternity leave, I don't know, January 15th, that is 2 weeks less that you get to spend with your baby, and that's a whole pay period that you did not work. And I get that most people have paid maternity leave, but there's limitations on it, and it's not overtime, and there's not shift differential in it. So you really need to take these things into consideration. I personally wanted to work up until I popped, and I literally worked until the day I was told I was being induced, and then I needed to take it extremely easy. So then I just spent 2 days at my apartment. I, finished packing my bag. I went through my checklist. I made sure my family knew what was going on. I made sure I had everything together, and I scrubbed my apartment top to bottom. So I kind of had it both ways. I took a little time off before I had my baby, but it was just 2 days, and that was plenty of time for me to get my stuff together and figure out what I needed and what I didn't need and all of that. So that was my little video. Those were all of my tips for trying to work while you were pregnant, or what you need to do when you are working and pregnant. I hope it really helps somebody out. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. If you enjoyed this series, please give this video a big thumbs up down below, and leave a comment with when you took your maternity leave, or any questions you might have concerning your pregnancy or motherhood. Right now this is just pregnancy problems, but I can extend it out into mom problems, like motherhood problems, and how to deal with it and being a new mom. I hope you guys enjoy these videos, watching them as much as I enjoy making them. I know my channel is very small. I don't even have 100 subscribers yet, but I want to let you guys know that the subscribers I do have just make me all warm and fuzzy inside, okay? I really appreciate you guys. I really love it when I look at my phone and I have comments from you guys. I always comment back. I love it. I love every part of this, and I feel like my video quality and all of that is just getting better. I feel like I'm getting better at editing. I feel like I'm getting my lighting situated. I feel like my video quality is improving, and I hope you guys are seeing the changes that I'm trying to make and improve. I am still on the hunt for a new camera, but I do want to continue to improve my quality. So if you guys have anything that you think I could situate and redo in this little area, please let me know. And I really am so happy that I had my ring light. It's making my eyes look crazy, but other than that, I'm here for it. I'm liking it. So that is it for this video, guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!